the synchronizers as well. And I had the occasion to work with Ford Motor Company on the arbitration mediation for lemon cars. And they were having so much trouble with synchronizers, and those Germans that set up transmissions that they were buying from Germany to put in the trucks. And the problem didn't have to do with the synchros were bad. The dealers were putting GL5 oil in those transmissions, not knowing that the synchros wouldn't work with that GL5 transmission, which is a current designation for these oils. Now called GL4 or GL5, but they used to be called EP and GL. And others designated oil for finger and green would be GL5, and the oil for the gears in the transmission and cylinders would be GL4. So we have is it question time?
That's that question.
Yeah.
You can just read the question if you want to.
Here. Question from the audience.
Yes.
It was sticking up.
Oh my God. Why do transaxles leak at the end plates? Thin paper gasket. The question is about these end plates right here. The situation is that when you set up the gearbox, you need to put preload on these bearings. And because you do a measurement on how much pressure is on these end plates when you assemble the transmission, you need to put preload on those bearings, because when the transmission expands, the sides get further apart. So you have to put preload on them, you might say when they're cold. And so to do that calculation, you have to measure that space, and then therefore determine what size shims you put in to put a preload on those bearings, so when the case expands, the bearings are not rattling around or loose. And so you can't use a very fat gasket, because that will upset the preload that they put on those rears of the end plates. So that's why they only use a thin paper gasket. In many of the cases, as you know, the engine cases and the old transmission cases that are split, you didn't use a gasket at all. For the same reason, the dimensions inside of that and bores inside there, and they don't have room for a gasket because it was line bored without a gasket in there. And so therefore, when they use these thin paper gaskets, it's because it would upset the preload on the side gears. And that couldn't be a constant if you know what I mean. If you use a thicker glass gasket, it would, if you tighten it up, it would compress. And then you change the preload on the side of this plate that gets pressure on the bearings. And I understand that some certain kind of, like Sweatco or something, that kind of oil seeps through those gaskets. I don't know what that's all about, because we didn't have Sweatco oil back in those days, so we never had leaks in the gaskets, therefore. But I understand now that they're having trouble with there's certain kind of transmission oil that's, I don't know if it's eating up the gaskets or it's just running right through the gasket or whatever. These paper gaskets are not meant to keep that type of lubricant from leaking out. So I guess these endpoints.
What was the non-standard factory application of helicopter greases from Billy Mitchell Field that you would use to stop leaks?
When we had split case transmissions and the split case engines, the airport and discovered that they had, because aircraft engines are built that same way, with a split case, like only you choose and all like that. And so we found out what do they do to seal those and not upset the bearing distance. In other words, if you put a gasket between there, the hole where the bearing fits in wouldn't be round any longer. So, because it was a machine without gaskets in between. So, they needed something that would seal these gearboxes when they were split and the crankcases when they were split. And we went to the airport and said, what do you guys use? You have split case engines too. So they had a compound that would compress totally and seal this up. And if you take an engine apart, which I did many, brand new, Porsche had some kind of material that they were putting in there too. It was just a fine little kind of, it wasn't Permatex, but it was really a thin material to do the final seal. Of course, once you took it apart, then you take that off. Now what? You wouldn't seal anymore. So we found that going to the airport, Mutual Field, we found that product. It was actually made by the government. It came in an olive drop can, and it was used for sealing airplane engines. So we used that to doing this engines.
Another question from Spiegel.
Oh, good. Well, is it good to shift fast or bad to shift fast? That's probably a self-answering question, but I'll push it right after you. The Synchro has a really big job to do. You don't realize what it all has to do. When you're changing gears up and down, it has to take all of these gears in the lower part of the transmission to get them spinning. This is what they call a cluster gear. And what happens is these gears are all, it's called a constant mesh transmission. So these gears are all, as you can see, connected together. And the only thing you're doing when you're shifting is you're taking this collar and moving it in to match up with these teeth right here. And when you move that collar, it takes these teeth and connects up with those teeth. So that Synchro's job is to take these gears and put them back to the same speed as you were driving at that time. So what this Synchro needs to do is get this main shaft spinning to the correct speed, and all the way, this main shaft goes all the way to the engine, and connected to it is a clutch disc. So what that Synchro has to do is get the speed of this cluster turning at the same speed that the wheels are turning, and the wheels are connected to this shaft here and to this gear. So what happens when you connect those gears together, and that will make the Synchro will make this spin. So what you're doing is you're taking this whole set of gears, the shaft and the clutch disc, and speeding it up as you are shifting. And that, or you're slowing it down depending on which way you're going, shifting or downshifting. So that Synchro has a big job to do. So what happens is you can help the Synchro by giving the engine a blip. You get the clutch disc spinning in there, even so you don't even. There's some friction in there, even if the clutch is disengaged. And the main shaft goes into the pilot bearing, and it'll help that pilot shaft start spinning. So slowing down anyhow. And the input shaft is slowing down anyhow. So if you waited long enough, you would need something to do how long you waited. So shifting job simply is not as severe as a concept. So if you could help with lifting the engine a little bit and getting the shaft spinning a little sooner than you downshift, the same as synchros. Did I answer that question?
Yep. Harold, but
I got another one too.
Actually, Tom can tell a story about when we were taking his wife for a ride one time. It's a chase car at Lindale Farms, I think. And I was trying to play hero driver, and I was shifting the car without the clutch completely, just by getting the engine at the right speed. Because I've been driving Porsches for so many years, I knew what speed the engine had to be to move into the next gear. And so, if you're really careful enough and familiar enough with the speed that the engine has to run based on how far the car is going, you can move that transmission without depressing the clutch, and that seems to allow it to shift into gear without the clutch.
So that's
but it's really expensive when you do it right.
that's the story from his side. The story from my side is, that was the first autocross that I ever had driven. I was a street racer with the best of them down Wisconsin Avenue, Visual Street, Burleigh, back in the 50s. And so when I bought that 59 in 1963, the first event I attended was an autocross at Lindale Farms. And the autocrosses were really, it was really driver's ed. It was really a whole bunch of racers. Of course, it's set up on Lindale Farms race track by Zimdars and a couple of other guys. And it was really a short shoot to the first turn. No barricades, no speed determinants around the first quadrant. The back straight, it was flat out. And then coming around, there's another speed slowdown. And what they had was, they'd have you go out and run your time, and a chase car would observe you to make sure you did not go past the pylons, that you brake and slow down and went shooting through them, and then so everybody was being monitored. And so my first run was like, oh, this is like really fun. First time I'd ever been in a four-wheel slide, and back straight, whatever. Nobody was with me. I had a different chase car, but anyway, the second run I had fairly mediocre time, a whole bunch of really experienced drivers. The third run, I had my third run, so the first 2 or 3 runs, Harold followed me with Jan in the car. That was the sequence in the chase car. And so now I'm a chase car for somebody else late in the day. Jan's going to ride with me as the observer. And I go through the first turn with the Super, and I get up into the second turn, and I'm like really hammering the synchros, driving like a street racer, little technique obviously, and she starts pounding on my shoulders, and she's like, what are you doing to our car? What are you doing to our car? And I get down the back straight, I get into the second last turn, she's still pounding. I said, will you quit it? Will you quit it? She said, you're ruining our car, you're ruining our car. Finally I get to the start-finish line, pull over and go like, this is like kind of a whole ridiculous sequence of events. She said, well, I don't know where you ever learned how to drive. We'd been married about 2 years at that point. And she said, I don't know where you ever learned how to drive, learn how to shift. She said, Harold went through that whole sequence of the track, whatever. He never used the clutch. I said, never used the clutch. She said, no, he just clicked from gear to gear to gear. She's thinking this thing's like a semi-automatic clutch. He never touched the clutch. They've been matching RPMs and engine speed. I go like, well, hey, look, the guy's an E-production champion race car driver, been to the factory, got 12 to 13 years of these cars. We're learning. And that's how that whole thing went on the other side of the story with matching engine speed and transmission speed.
I didn't want to get into marital problems. That's not what I'm here to speak about. But, anyhow, we have a question here. When I jack up my the boots leak oil, will the leaking make it necessary to top up the transaxle oil? Well, if it leaks enough, you do.
Well,
But I'll tell you what the deal is. These replacement boots that are bolted together, the people make the mistake of thinking that that seam needs to be on top so it doesn't leak oil. But the fact is, the seam needs to be sideways. Because if you take the axle and you try to compress that seam and then you lengthen that seam, it doesn't want to do that. But if you put it sideways, that seam will just bend, you know, and it can do that.
yeah,
But it will split open.
I'll have to check
Split open
that.
when it's on the top. See, so people think that you should put the replacement boot with the seam on the top so it doesn't leak. Wrong. It will leak if it's on the top, but if you put it sideways, it won't leak because it's more flexible in the sideways position.
It's not an issue if you have it on a rack, but if you jack the car up from the center, like underneath the transmission, underneath the transaxle, the wheels will bow real bad,
Yeah.
and then that's when it leaks.
Sure, sure. So try shirking those boots around and spinning them around so that the seam is going horizontal, and therefore that allows that seam to bend easily as compared to when it's up on the top. It stretches and shrinks as the axle, and it's not meant to be that way. So, the second part of that question is, if you leak enough out of there, then you're going to fill it up some more.
So even after it stops leaking, you're pretty positive that
Well,
needs to
then
be
the
topped.
axle will fill up again the next time we drive the car, and then that will leak out. So each time it'll leak out some more until pretty soon the transmission will be low, because as you drive the car, oil will splash up into the axle tubes. And so therefore you'll get some more oil in there, and then the next time you jack up the car, that oil will leak out. It'll eventually drain your axle.
It wouldn't drain it dry though.
Well, no, it won't drain it dry because some of this oil will remain in there, you know. But the bearings in the top will